Hi everyone, I'm Holly Ismail, Director of Recruiting here at NCSA, and I'm back with another tip of the day, which is why you should talk to current college athletes. We all know that you'll be asking a college coaches many questions as you're going through the process, but you don't hear much about asking college athletes questions. And this really can be a vital part of helping you with your process. So I'll sort of break this down into two categories. One, those athletes at the schools you're getting recruited to, who could be your future teammates, and two, those athletes outside of programs that you're looking at that simply can help you understand the recruiting process and transitioning to college. First, let me just start by saying that before someone, let's say, applies for a job, most likely you've asked people in similar jobs that you know their expertise. It may be that it can help you decide if it'll be a good fit for you, and that person can help you really understand how to prepare for that interview. Parents, when you're looking to buy a car, you do a ton of research. You ask people who are driving that type of car, their experience, the pros and cons of that vehicle. These opinions definitely can sway you and can help you to avoid anything with consistent issues. So I would say that most people looking for a new job or a new car are looking for something really solid and for longevity. And of course, in recruiting, you guys, you only go through it once, or at least you hope so. That's the goal. And talking to current college athletes, I think, is absolutely critical in forming your process. A big part of my role here at NCSA is recruiting education. I love speaking to high schools and coaches, and I always cover the pitfalls in recruiting, things to avoid, things to be sure that you're doing to help your success. I tell families and student athletes like it is, because I want you to avoid the mistakes I see over and over again made by student athletes and families. And talking to athletes, you guys, who are not at programs recruiting you, will be super beneficial because they're in the thick of that experience and they aren't trying to recruit you to their program along with the coaching staff, and they're not going to sugarcoat things for you. So I think it's a good idea to also talk to athletes at the level that you're projected to compete at as well. Understanding, of course, that every school and program is going to have their own variations, but it can help you to understand a little bit more about the workload expected and the day-to-day student athlete experience also. I would say, you guys, that some questions that you can ask these athletes are, what was your recruiting process like? And that's sort of an open-ended question, and people really love to share that. And usually there's things that probably they would have done differently or, wish they had known before. So I would certainly ask them, if they don't tell you those things, what they feel they would have done differently, and things that they feel that you should avoid. And then, of course, things that they feel you should put your greatest focus on. And, what do they think was most effective as far as getting on coaches' radars? We obviously know that that's super important in the process for you. Also, you should ask them if they went to camps and if they were effective. And then ask them if they felt prepared when they got to college for the academic load. Also, of course, for the intensity of practice and the workouts, and ask them what they would suggest is the best way to be prepared for that. There's a lot of questions that you'll think of yourself as well. I would definitely write them down before you're able to, have that opportunity to talk to someone. And so, where do you find these current athletes to talk to? Most high schools, of course, have student athletes every year that go on to play in college, certainly some more than others. Ask their old coach, ask the AD to connect you to them, or the club that you're on. Obviously, most likely they're sending kids to college every single year who are playing your sport. So ask those coaches to connect you with them. People love to help, and trust me, guys, any college athlete that felt the struggle in recruiting or who felt the struggle of the transition is more than happy to help you and help you understand how to be best prepared. Now, the other group of athletes that you'll, of course, be talking to and asking questions will be those possible future teammates when you go on unofficial or official visits. Now, keep in mind, you guys, that these student athletes are also coached by their coaches in how to sell the program and university. But you will get a good sense of their energy around each other and with their coaching staff. So take notice of body language and communication with the staff and the team. You'll have plenty of downtime with the team in their rooms, going out, relaxing with them, having a good time with different activities planned as well. Take this time to ask players questions about the program, the head coach, assistant coaches, position coaches, academics, counselors, practice, travel, food, support, trainers, transition to the academic load, of course, What's the professor support like? How are the coaches with their communication? What do they think they can do better? And what do they think they're really good at? And ask them if they feel comfortable going to the coaches if they need help with something or have a concern. Ask them if you feel like the coaches support them off the court and field. And I would ask them to give examples of that. I would also talk and ask them about how injuries are handled. Do you have support if something were to happen getting around campus? Ask about alumni events. Do they have, focus on helping you develop off the court? Do they help you with those connections? Do they help you find a major if you're struggling with that? And ask them certainly, are they happy they chose the school and team to play for? I would also ask about internships if that's something that's important for you, ask their experience with that as well. So there's a lot, like I said, guys, a ton of questions that you can come up with yourself as well. But bottom line here is think of those things that are important to you. Write that list down before you go on a visit. Get through the list. And I think with answers to those questions, it can really help you and help you make decisions down the road. So thanks for checking this out today, you guys. Visit the link below if you need an online profile, if you're a student athlete, or if you're a coach wanting some education for your team. We can definitely help you and we will reach out. Have a super day.